Hello, my friends, how are ya? Hiker Dave N.E. here. Summer just came and smacked us right in the face here in New Hampshire. It's hotter than Satan's warm regions. So I want to talk a little bit today. I want to check on a couple of structures near my home. But I do want to talk about my last video I made. I think it's Structures Everywhere or something like that. It was the last video I made. Me and Gary hiked in northern Massachusetts. Got a lot of comments on the reason for these structures, or teepee type structures, or just manipulated stuff that looks like the beginnings of maybe a shelter, but then just not finished quite. They all look unfinished for some reason to me, but I also want to check on that big old fat marble that I left in a smaller structure, little teepee structure near my home. And I just want to see, there's just no way a small woodland creature is going to make off with a marble, a big fat marble. But I do want to talk about some of the theories I have on these structures. And we'll take a walk in the woods a little bit. It should be cooler in the woods, as always, with the canopy, get some nice shade. It's above 90 here in New Hampshire, and it just kind of feels like it just came out of nowhere. But let's go for a walk. So I'm just now hitting the trailhead. There's a couple cars here, actually, and I can hear in the distance, off to my left here, they're doing some tree work. It's a dirt road next to the park here. I got a bunch of comments too. I misspoke I do it a lot. I misspoke in the Patterson Gimlin film where I was calling Mike Patterson and Bob Gimlin. I think I was calling Bob Gimlin Mike, and I don't know. I apologize for that. I put it in the description. I realized I was making the mistake. That video had a bunch of names in it, and I messed everything up. But I do apologize for that. But in my last video about the structures, me and Gary hiked in northern Mass, right near the New Hampshire border. And we made some incredible discoveries there. These, I think 9, might have been 10 different teepee structures that we found, and I was saying it's on the trail. A couple times once I said it's off trail, another time I said it's on the trail. Look, none of the teepee structures I found are on a trail. I've never seen one on a trail. It's off the trail. So I wanted to just reiterate that for people that are thinking that I'm finding these structures. What's that? I just saw something dark. Right off over here. Just saw it move. What was that? I wonder. It looked big. So these structures that I find, again, they're off trail. So gotta love the noise, the tree work, right? I'm not even barely in the forest here, and I'm already feeling nervous for some reason. I don't generally feel nervous here. So with these structures, we find them because we're looking for them, and they're off trail in the woods. Some can be spotted from the trail if you're looking for them. When we walked by the first one, no offense, Gary, he didn't notice it. I just happened to be looking into the woods, and I saw something off and to my right that looked unnatural, and then that's when we just started finding a crap ton of them. But they're never on a trail. Even these ones here, they're near a trail, not on a trail. I just want to clarify that kind of. really apprehensive. All of a sudden, I saw something. Let me assess my situation here and kind of get back to you. All right, I'm gonna hike for a little bit. I can still hear that wood chipper in the distance. Boy, what a difference a couple weeks make. I haven't been out here in a couple of weeks. And I can barely see that ridge. There's a ridge up there. I can barely even make it out. Boy, it's so, all the greenery came up so quick. Something looks off here for some reason. Something looks off. All right, I'm gonna check on that marble. Something just looks different around here. I can't put my finger on it. I want to say this looks, I don't remember this. I'll have to go back in some videos and check this out. I don't remember. I remember this being on the ground. This tree. I don't remember it leaning. I remember it being on the ground. I don't know. I always found this really strange as well, that this tree was brought here. The tree didn't grow here and then fall. This was recently cut. Probably the beginning of the winter, last winter. It was cut for some reason. But this tree was brought here. Can't imagine why or who, but I have the willies out here. I don't know what's going on. I feel really, really strange here for some reason right now. Anyways, let's check on my big old fat marble. Oh, the bugs. What? You gotta be joking me. Gone. The sticks are gone. I don't get it, guys. I'm done with this experiment. They're gone. All three of them are gone. I think I had 4. I'm going to show a picture. Let me show you a picture of what it looked like when I left it out here, when I was out here with my son. I had it right back here in this corner. I don't know why the sticks would be gone. If a little woodland creature's taking them, why take the sticks? Or move the sticks? I'm done. I'm not giving up any more marbles out here. This is ridiculous. Very strange. I had it right here. I don't understand. That marble that I left, the one in the middle, the big white one, that was too big for a bird to fly away with, I can tell you that. It was a really heavy marble. I don't understand. So, I'm just going to chalk it up to, I can't, any marbles I put in this particular teepee structure are going to get taken. So, I've got 3 more on that big boulder over there. Let's give that a look-see. Pardon me. Well, it looks different out here for some reason. I can't put my finger on it. I can see the marbles on the boulder from here. They're, of course, untouched. Oh, well, that's a little different. The sticks have been moved. That marble there has been moved. Could have been the wind, of course. But the sticks have been moved, so I don't know. We had some wind up here, I guess. Let me tighten this up and put it the way I had it before. This is the first time I've ever seen anything different on this boulder. The first time I've ever seen anything change as far as the marbles go. I'm just going to continue to leave these out. Leave them the way they are. Something I can just check on every time I kind of walk by. I'll give it a look-see. But sticks were moved. Well, there's definitely a different feel out here right now. Things look a little different, and I don't just mean the color or the greenery or the growth. I'm very, very familiar with the down trees here. I'm familiar with all the structures and the teepees. And I really notice a change here. So in the past 2 weeks, there's been activity here. I mean, it could be group of people hike through here, or people are moving stuff around. For sure, I see a difference out here as far as the terrain, or not terrain features, but as far as some of the leans and stuff, it looks different to me. So, you guys were commenting, a lot of you guys commenting about my last video on the structures, and we found a plethora. Me and Gary we kind of felt like we hit the jackpot at this place. And I always revert back to, in my mind, how a person would build. You know, there's one reason why, in my mind, a person builds a structure. Boy Scouts or something, right? And to me, it's for shelter, survival. It's a skill that you learn to get yourself out of the weather. So I absolutely do not at all think that those teepee structures and such are to keep Sasquatch out of the weather. Most of them that I find, a small person couldn't fit in them. I'm a larger person. I definitely am not fitting in a lot of these structures. A few of the ones that I found with Gary, that's down Gary's territory, northern Massachusetts, were probably big enough for a dog and low to the ground. I don't understand it, but got a lot of good suggestions on what they might be. I don't recall, I'm sorry, the person that has left these messages, or multiple people, but somebody had mentioned maybe food storage. Really good point. Not weather. It's not to get out of the weather. I really don't believe that. I've had a lot of theories. Territory markers. When a clan or a group or a family of Sasquatch come into an area, the possibility is there that they mark their territory with these. But then I can sometimes in my mind, I'm like, well, maybe isn't that what these sapling breaks are? A marking territory, but they could be directional markings towards water, towards a game trail. Who knows? Other reasons for these structures or manipulations. I've said before, it could be absolute complete boredom. Imagine living in the forest your whole entire existence, and there's really nothing to do other than eat, sleep, procreate, throw pebbles and scare the crap out of hikers and campers and backpackers and mountain bikers. I could see boredom really taking a toll on a being that spends its entire life in the forest with a higher knowing or intelligence, where it's not just eating, sleeping, and pooping and then repeat every single day, where they actually, I believe they can be bored. And I think that's a reason as well that they come close to us. Or you'll find sign near a hiking trail, for instance, or you'll find sign in the woods next to a park where children play on the swings, or a baseball field, or something like that, where off around the fringes, you'll find Sasquatch sign. I think that they're interested and curious about us, and that's why I don't think you need to go, that you need to travel into the mountains 10 or 20 miles on a crazy trek to go find sign. I'm hearing something. I keep hearing it. And I saw something when I first came in here, but I mean, I'm close to these guys that are doing tree work. Probably only, I don't know, but I can't see them or anything, but I can still hear them in the distance. Now, maybe perhaps Sasquatch is curious and he wanted to come take a look and I interrupted. I don't know. But some really cool things about the structures. When I look at them, and I look right away at how would a person build it. And all of these structures I see, very few, one of them that I was with Gary, that I saw that looked a little more human than the rest, but I who knows, are these, the sticks and twigs and bark and stuff like that incorporated in these structures screams to me not human. Because I think, I used to build the little forts and stuff like that, or lean-to out in the woods as a kid, and I would never take an uprooted tree and use that as part of my build. And if you look, just these logs and stuff like that, I wouldn't do that. I don't know too many people that would build it like that, and that would use bark and stuff like that. I mean, I could see somebody with some awesome primitive skills that would make a shelter, like a teepee type shelter, and get some bark off of a tree, and big pieces of bark to make it waterproof. I can see that, but little shards and little pieces of bark and these logs, like right here. The logs, I would never think of incorporating that into something that I would build. And the weaving and stuff like that. Like, I understand if you want to waterproof your shelter, you would weave some pine boughs in there and stuff like that. But none of these look like the purpose for them is for shelter. And I always go back to Boy Scouts, and I have talked to a bunch of learned outdoors people that know about Boy Scouts. They've been in Boy Scouts and stuff like that, and they wouldn't build a shelter like that. It's just not. I said it before. If this is a troop of Boy Scouts there, where me and Gary were in northern Mass, Harold Parker was the name of the place. That dude should be fired. And he should beat it and go. Don't teach kids how to build a shelter like that, because they're brutally bad. So that's one thing that I take that into consideration when I find a teepee structure. Is how neat is it? How neat does it look in the way it's built? Does it look like a person did it, or are all these sticks and stuff like that, are they broken off, or are they sawed off and stuff like that? I take all that into consideration, but. Just interesting, some of the theories about why they're there. Another theory that I had heard, or an idea, is that maybe they're for birthing, or maybe they'll put an infant inside one while they go on a hunt or something like that. All valid theories. I mean, it's someone's, it's all it is, because nobody can tell us right now what these teepees are for. I'm surrounded by 5 of them right now, and I couldn't tell you why it's being done. I'd love to know, but we all can have our own theories, right? I mean, you can't take that away. Just a theory. As long as you say it like that, then it was that. This is getting silly now. Hello. That was loud. Maybe I hope I Maybe she saw it behind my shoulder. I'll have to go back and look. There could be a bear roaming around out here right now as well. So I need to keep that. I need to keep that in mind. What is that? Is that? Yeah. All right, maybe I'm hearing things and seeing things, I suppose. All right. Get a little freaked out there sometimes, you know. So leave a comment and let me know, you know, if you can think of anything other than for shelter. I don't believe that it's for shelter. Why they build these structures. Shelter, territory markers, birthing areas, pure boredom. A place to leave their food cache. Things like this, you know. Give me some more ideas if you guys have any more theories on what you think, why these we're gonna and I'm gonna assume, guys, that Sasquatch makes these structures, and that's why that's where the question it lies. Do you think why do you think Sasquatch, if Sasquatch made these structures, what do you think the reasons are for them? What do you think that might be? I'm curious to hear some other people's theories, thoughts, ideas on it. So let me get into one last thing. And I am going to bring up the name Todd Standing again. I do watch his videos. I think some of his stuff is legit. So I find him kind of an interesting character. He was talking the other day. People say, well, why didn't you shoot? How come you didn't shoot that? I think it was like video 3, he calls it, where that Sasquatch ducks down, stands up and then ducks down behind a boulder, and it's up on a ridge or a big incline to his, I don't know if it was to his left or his right, but, and people ask him, you know, that was your opportunity to take a shot at it or tranquilize it or something. And he brought up something I found to be interesting, that I agree with him, that he says that him and the guy he was with, they wouldn't have made it out alive. If they had shot and killed that Sasquatch, that they would have never made it out. He was convinced that there were multiple Sasquatch there on that, where they were. He thinks that there was a couple off to his left, another one to his right, and possibly another one behind them, following them. And he makes a point that if he shot it and they get up there, that the other part of the rest of the clan would have just attacked them and killed them. And that makes sense. And another thing too I want to say about The people that say, oh, if I see one, I'm going to shoot it. I want to tell you, if you're out in the forest, right? If you're just an armchair person and you're saying this, oh, I would just kill it and take it into town. You're going to kill a potentially 800 or 900 pound massive creature. How are you going to get it out of the woods? I suppose you could quarter it, cut it into pieces and take it out that way. I don't even like talking about killing Sasquatch because I do think that they're human or part human DNA. My opinion, who knows, but that's another thing too. I mean, you know, you've got to get the carcass out. So imagine killing one and trying to get the body out. That would be a feat in itself. If you just, never mind finding one, getting a bead on one, pulling the trigger, being able to kill it, not getting mauled and killed by the rest of the troop or gang or clan or family unit, I don't think you'd make it out. I really don't. I mean, I just, that's my opinion. And like I said, I do watch Todd Standing stuff. He's kind of, he's an excitable guy. Everything's fantastic and awesome and incredible and fantastic. And, you know, he's running around and jumping over creeks and he's in his ghillie suit and everything. I got no problem with that. That's his thing. That's what he does. I admire if he's got skills and he was taught by Cree Nation elders and a sniper on tracking and evasion and all this stuff. That's good for him. You know, I'm jealous. I wish I had all that skill. But he's a kind of a over the top figure that I think that bothers a lot of people. Whether I think that all of stuff is legit, who knows? I don't know. Who knows if it's real or not? Some of it looks really good to me, and some of his other stuff is suspect. But, you know, who am I? I've never got anything. I've never gotten a Bigfoot on camera. Picture, blurry photo, stuff like that. I mean, I've heard some weird stuff out there, out in the woods, and seen some stuff out of the corner of my eye, and I've heard grunts and growls, and I believe me and Josh once, I think, might have been bluff charged. We didn't see anything, but the ground was shaking. We both were just filled with dread and fear all of a sudden. And but I mean, I don't know too many people out there that are getting the stuff that he gets. Now, I'm not saying I back him, and I'm not saying that I don't. I just kind of go with the flow. I take in as much information as I can. I say it all the time. Take in as much information as I can, and then I do with it what I want to do with it. And I kind of sift through what I think is crap and stuff that I think is legit. But I thought that he made a good point of if say he did happen to shoot that Sasquatch, and I kind of agree that him and his buddy wouldn't have made it out. It takes a Sasquatch can lift up a boulder or a log and toss it down an embankment where you're standing and crush you easily. You know, if it can't get its hands on you, it's going to be able to do some kind of damage where I don't think it's a smart idea to try to kill a Bigfoot. And I'm starting to hear these rumors here and there that people are starting. I don't know, this might have been going on for a long time and I didn't know about it, but there are legit people out there hunting to kill a Bigfoot. Now, I'm not naive. I understand that this is probably something that's been going on for years and years, that somebody wants to be the guy that can go out and kill a Bigfoot. But I think with the popularity of the subject kind of exploding the past few years, maybe handful of years, maybe 5, 6, 7 years now, that there are legitimate groups that are really going to go out, that are actively hunting to kill a Bigfoot. Shame on you is what I say. I'd hate to see it. I definitely have mentioned that that's the only way that this will ever come out. I really don't ever see a press conference on some kind of news network saying, oh, we just want to let you guys know that there is a huge 7, 8, 9, 10 foot tall, hairy bipedal creature out in the forests of North America. And yeah, and be careful. I mean, can you just see how our news conference like that would go over? It's not happening. It's not happening. So it's going to be, it really has to come down to a body. And that's a shame. Even DNA, of course, we get, people say they have DNA of Sasquatch, but if you have nothing to match it to, then in my opinion, it's useless. If I collect hairs and Sasquatch DNA is in it, there's no comparison. You can't compare it and say, well, we found this hair and it matches a species called Sasquatch. It's not going to happen. You can get all the DNA and scat and hair and whatever, even, you know, and that kind of goes hand in hand with casting footprints. They're incredible to find. It's rare. I've found a handful. Really rare to find a decent print, but to cast it and all that stuff, and for what? So just people can say, "Oh, cool," you know what I mean? I don't know. It would be nice to have in a private collection. I agree with that. Gary had mentioned, "Hey, you know, you have found prints before. Why didn't you cast them?" I just never thought to bring out a casting kit, and I may try that this year. I'm not sure. Again, if I find one and I have one, I guess it feels like to me, well, good for me. You know, what am I going to do with it? Like, what am I going to bring it to the Bigfoot police? I mean, I don't know. Well, I'm going to make this kind of a short video. This is, here's the creek that I always walk next to, and I'm going to show you what happened to it. It is so dried up. It's just a little trickle now. Just a little bit of a trickle. I mean, it's actually almost dried up way down. It's still flowing to a point down there, but it's just really almost nothing left to it now. Man, them guys doing all that tree work. Now I'm hearing chainsaws. What a bummer. I come out here for nature and you're going to listen to that crap. Well, it was short but sweet. I do appreciate you guys clicking. Leave some comments about these structures and what you think, what they're for, and potentially, you know what I mean, your theories. That's all I'm asking for. And I may go back. I have something I may want to talk about, or I'll leave it for the next video. I may go back to the barn and continue a little bit of this conversation, but I'm going to wait and see. If not, thank you so much for clicking, and I'll see you on the next one. But I may continue this. I'm not positive. But again, thank you guys so much. And thank you for you guys that help and contribute to my channel through my PayPal. I really do appreciate it, especially in this time. I had wicked issues on unemployment. I haven't collected a dime. I'm having all kinds of problems going on. They want affidavits and they want notary publics to get involved, and it's been a nightmare for me. But anyways, thank you for you guys that do help and contribute to my channel. It's very, very much appreciated. I'll definitely see you on the next one.